What is happening in Red Sea? We see that there is a fourth attack from United States that has happened, and then we see containers burning. What is happening?
I told you that if this war were to continue for beyond a month and a half, it has the potential to pull in regional players and turn into a bigger mess. The governments in those Middle Eastern Muslim states are holding. Till when they'll hold is anybody's guess. The Gulf of Aden is an extension of the Suez Canal connecting the Western Hemisphere to the Eastern Hemisphere. That means the producers to the consumers.
Okay.
Carry X tons, you cannot take so many days.
Correct.
Then there will be shortage everywhere.
Correct.
Right? So that is the pain point that the Houthis are hitting at. As of now, Houthis have not attacked ships at will.
Okay.
They are only targeting ships flying a particular flag.
Yeah.
If you do not have the basic POL, that petrol, oil and lubricants
Right.
coming into the country, how will your country learn? The economic engine will stop.
So what is the loss that these guys will have, the Yemenis?
Yemenis have only a nuisance.
That's all.
This one. And if you take out that nuisance, if you take out the ships operating via Suez Canal, Egypt loses a majority of its revenues coming from the Suez Canal.
Okay.
So there is reverse pressure coming on the Houthis to
Correct.
stop everything.
Right. So what are the chances that America will put their foot soldiers there?
Biden won't like to see body bags coming home.
Namaste all. Today with me I have Wing Commander Rajeev. Last time we had spoken about Hamas and Israel in length. Today we are here to discuss about the Red Sea attack. I mean to say the attack that is happening in Red Sea, the to and fro attacks that is happening. So we'll talk to him and find out what this attack is. And we'll also find out from him why there are so many wars happening. You know, we first had Russia, Ukraine, and then Hamas, terrorists attacking Israel, and then now there is Iran bombing Pakistan, and then the Red Sea attack. So we'll find out from him where the world is heading towards. So, Ji, namaste. Thank you so much for your time again.
The appropriate word would be Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Yes, I know.
To you and all Samvada viewers, I wish them the very best. India is looking up and
Right.
there is a cultural revolution on.
Yes.
We hope to see this in more grandeur in the other two sides also.
Right.
And I'm sure it'll happen someday. When the world is looking at war, we are looking at something else, you know.
We are an ocean of peace today.
I know.
I mean, we are an island of peace in an ocean of war.
Nafrat ka bazaar mein wawat ka dukaan.
Correct.
Right. So please go ahead. What is happening in Red Sea? We see that there is a fourth attack from United States that has happened, and then we see containers burning. What is happening?
See, if you go back to our interaction about a month back when we started this series on Arab-Israeli war or Hamas-Israeli wars, I told you that if this war were to continue for beyond a month and a half, it has the potential to pull in regional players and turn into a bigger mess.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, this has come true. So, Israel, instead of doing surgical strikes, as any prudent military commander would do, have opted for a evacuation of the entire Gaza Strip, of the civilians by bombarding the infrastructure there.
Right.
So, they are making the place unsuitable for human habitation.
Well, in a way, it is fine, right?
That is perspectives,
Right.
but from an ethical point of view,
Okay.
probably not right.
Oh.
That is why they are facing charges in the International Court of Justice. So the spin-off of that is all the Muslim nations in and around Gaza, the population is up in arms against their governments in order to support Gazan population. I am talking of the Muslim countries in the Middle East and in Northern Africa. Till date, the powers to be, the governments in those Middle Eastern Muslim states are holding. Till when they'll hold is anybody's guess.
Okay.
Because the population are against Israel is pretty strong. There is common what I would say demand for supporting Palestinian or the the Arabic clause, right? So now, where do these Houthis come in?
Right.
Now these Houthis are Muslim brethren from the Shia sect.
Okay.
Okay. and they live in a inhospitable terrain.
Ghettos kind of thing.
No, not ghettos. It's a mountainous country.
Okay.
Yemen is a fantastic country with huge, and it's a landscaped country with a lot of mountains.
Mountains, okay.
You can, if you want similarities, you could probably think of Afghanistan.
Right.
Right?
More of a terrain.
More of a terrain, more of a very, very rugged terrain.
Okay.
Okay. So these people are very hard people, and it's difficult to subjugate them. They have been fighting the Saudis, armed with American weapons. Saudis were armed with American weapons.
But then they got beaten up, Yemen's.
No, they were fighting for close to 8 years, and they did not give up.
Right.
It ended in a stalemate.
Right.
So these guys are used to fighting, used to dying, see death every day.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they control the Gulf of Aden. If you look at the map, the Gulf of Aden is an extension of the Suez Canal connecting the Western Hemisphere to the Eastern Hemisphere. That means the producers to the consumers.
Okay.
Most of the energy shipping that happens from Middle East comes through this canal.
Okay.
Okay, Suez Canal,
So they
then,
kind of control
then
it.
the Gulf of Aden, and then it passes. It's a narrow strip of water. So the subscribers can understand that it's a narrow strip of water, and wherein Somalian pirates earlier and now Yemen Houthis are controlling that strip. Because of that, I'll give you an example of India. About 15% of India's energy needs flow through this channel.
Oh.
15% is quite huge.
Right.
I am only talking of energy.
Right.
The others are, if you add up the others, it's even more astronomical. So you can understand, it's like the chicken's neck that we have in India, right? India, China, we often talk of the chicken neck problem. So it's similar to that, akin to that. Now, if as a nation I want to forgo the risks of this attack in this narrow strip, then my ships have to travel across the African mainland, that is the Cape of Good Way, adding another about 10,000 kilometers in the journey.
That'll increase
So it will add to number of delays in number of days, it will add to logistics costs, and the container fleet in the world is limited.
correct. So it cannot be stuck in
It
one
cannot, I mean, you cannot, let us say to carry X tons, you cannot take so many days.
place. Correct. Correct.
Then there will be shortage everywhere,
Correct.
right? So that is the pain point that the Houthis are hitting at.
Right. They're
Right?
encashing it.
They are encashing on this geographical strategic
Correct.
positioning
That they are
that
doing.
God has given them,
Yeah.
right? Now, how do you counter that? Unfortunately, I would say the common sense that should prevail in military commanders and in political leaders is found short in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay.
I am saying the same thing that I talk of Israel, even though we have differences in
Right.
that, but that is my opinion.
Right.
The Westerners, that is the US-led coalition, by bombing these Yemenis or these Houthis with a salvo of 50 missiles, 100 missiles, this problem will not go away.
They are deepening the wounds.
It will not go away because all it needs from the Houthis is for one ship to be targeted and the logistics cost would shoot up. No container company will sail on those waters.
Right.
So it's near impossible to subdue the Houthis using these kind of long range weapons. The only way you can subjugate Yemenis people or the Houthis or this rebellion or this threat is to have ground troops
Ground troops.
in Yemen.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is where the West has a weak point.
Okay.
They don't like body bags.
Okay.
Okay, we saw that in Vietnam, we saw that in Afghanistan. They enter into a problem. When the going gets tough, they board the choppers or the planes and run away.
Right.
They don't stay to complete the problem and look to a resolution.
Right.
They came to Afghanistan, fought against Taliban for 20 years,
And they left and then
left in the mid of the night, giving the land back to Taliban. So
There's no
it's
point.
the same thing. So they hate body bags because of the kind of society that they are, and hence this weakness of the US and the coalition, the Western coalition, is being exploited at present.
Okay.
And where do these Houthis get this powerful arsenal from? Last time we mentioned that all the Shia organizations around the world have a powerful backer in Iran.
Iran, yes.
Okay, when we discussed Islamic nations,
Correct.
I told you that 3 Arabic nations or 3 Muslim nations have armies:
Right.
Turkey, Iran, and Pakistan.
Right.
Iran is the one Shia country that has got a very good army and a pretty good technology when it comes to precision missiles and drones.
Okay.
In fact, it is supporting Russia in drones. Their Shahid drones have proved to be very successful in the Russia-Ukraine war. So they are supporting both Hezbollah in Lebanon as well as Houthis in Yemen. This being the case, unless US forces look at a land operation, putting ground troops, putting boots on the ground, I don't see the Red Sea issue being solved.
Okay.
As of now, Houthis have not attacked ships at will.
Okay.
They are only targeting ships flying a particular flag.
Okay.
So that is why it has not hit home and the logistics costs have not spiraled or increased exponentially. In the near future, if the escalation matrix were to go up and if they decide to attack ships irrespective of the flag that they fly under, then we would look at energy cost spiraling exponentially.
Why would
which-
they do that? I mean, what are the chances of their doing it? Why would they simply target ships just
See-
because United States is bombing them? I don't think they will have a fight with India. Do you think so?
No, it's not about India or China or whatsoever.
Okay.
See, it is when I am being hit, I want to show my nuisance value. See, if I want to go after a destroyer or a frigate of the US Navy, it is equipped with anti-aircraft weapons as well as anti-drone and anti-missile weapons.
Right.
So it's a difficult target to hit.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas a merchant vessel does not have these defenses.
So you keep bombing all the merchant vessels that comes, and then those countries will put pressure on US to stop something like that.
Something like that. See, at the end of the day, let us take the case of India. 1 in 6 humans living in the planet are in this subcontinent. The Indian government has a responsibility to ensure that the basic needs of its population are met. And today, in a developing economy like India, we are energy guzzlers. Imagine that our strategic volume of oil that is being held goes down to 50% of what we hold today. So the stress and the pressure on the government will increase exponentially.
And then the price as well.
And price is a secondary factor.
Secondary. Yeah.
If you do not have the basic POL, that petrol, oil and lubricants coming into the country, how will your country learn? The economic engine will stop. So
Total economic downfall.
Correct.
So daily needs.
But that does not mean that we have to bow down to the Houthis. There is an alternate way.
Are you also asking India to get in, interfere, and
No,
then
no. Our present government has displayed tremendous foresight in staying out of all these conflicts over the last 2 years. It has walked the very fine diplomatic line,
Okay.
and it has not entangled in any camp.
Right.
I think that is
A diplomatic move.
a sure shot sign of maturity in the Indian leadership and in the Indian foreign service. And it has taken decades to come. So we only hope that they don't falter from now on. Could the Western countries have acted better? Yes, they could have acted better. They could have called the bluff of Houthis
Right.
and then said, okay, you are trying to hit our ships. For the next 1 year or the next 6 months, all our ships will use the longer route. We'll take the economic hit,
Okay.
let us say for 6 months, but we will not bow down to you.
So what is the loss that these guys will have, the Yemenis?
See, it's like Yemenis have only a nuisance.
That's all.
This one, and if you take out that nuisance, if you take out the ships operating via Suez Canal, Egypt loses a majority of its revenues coming from the Suez Canal.
Okay.
Okay, so there is reverse pressure coming on the Houthis to stop everything.
Oh, very nice.
So-
it's all connected there.
Yeah, everything is connected.
Right.
So instead of you paying money to the Suez Canal, as the Suez Canal owners, you pay up. Just like toll we pay when we use NHA highways, you pay a toll tax. So you say, okay, I'll not use Suez Canal at all. Instead of paying you, I'll pay higher logistics costs. I'll move 10,000 kilometers more. Maybe for 3 months, 4 months, the Houthi pain would have ended.
That's a lose-lose situation for.
Correct.
It's win-win for none.
So instead of using the kinetic way, which the Western economies or the Western leadership want to go, a subtle diplomatic move could have worked, in my view.
Right. Right. So
There were alternatives available.
Right. So what are the chances that America will put their foot soldiers there?
I would say zero. In an election year, Biden wouldn't like to see body bags coming home. And apart from America, there are no other armies in the Western world. You look at Britain, Britain probably cannot fill the Chinnaswamy Stadium with its troops. There will still be some empty seats. So they do not have a standing army. Britain do not have a standing army. In fact, their aircraft carrier has not moved out because they do not have sailors to man it. So this, over the last 30, 40 years, they have not spent on defense and they are facing a crisis there. So I don't see troops going there. But yes, the US is a smart player. It has managed the world for 40 years. It has enough proxies in the world who can deploy armies on rent. We'll probably come to that later.
Sure. So, well, that is all is happening with Red Sea for now.
Correct. The only escalation that I see is how these get lucky and strike an American warship or a coalition warship and the warship were to go down. Because Houthis have good missiles.
Who supplies Iran?
Iran technology, but they have a manufacturing base.
Oh, is it? So
Yeah.
they are financially strong?
They are not financially strong, but they are. I told you, they are hardened men. They may go without a bread and a butter, but they'll not go without a rifle. That kind of people. It's very typical of, you could say, mountainous people, very rugged, sturdy people. So it's difficult to put them down.
So thank you so much for throwing light on this. I hope, I mean, for any war, this is what we wish that it stops. So just like that, so just like that, even this, we hope it will stop. And thank you so much again.
You're welcome.